Hey friends, how's it going today? Joseph McDonald here from Love Profit Consulting, Joe Company Consulting, Movers and Shakers, and a bunch of other beautiful brands that are meant to make the world a better place any way they can. I recently, on April 11th, was supposed to lead a talk on the topic of abundance for the Light Bearers Association of Canada. The topic led to so much beautiful discussion, so much great ideas, great concepts, great perspectives that I didn't even get to speak. I was the main event. We didn't even get to the main event. So we are going to do this talk where I lead it on abundance next month with the Light Bearers. That would be the second Monday. So that would be May 9th at the Light Bearers. If anyone wants to join us there, we would love to have you. We're always welcoming new people that are looking for a little bit of new spirituality, moving towards the path to enlightenment. Anyway, I assume you might be watching this video because you may not be able to attend, and that is wonderful. So this is my first telling of this story, and here we go. I hope you have a great time. So I start off, what is abundance? And I want you to close your eyes for a second. This is going to be a little interactive. My talk was very interactive, so this is going to be a little interactive, and there's a little bit of organic winging it going on. And I feel like that's the best way to do it because this is the way it's meant to be. Anyway, so I want you to just take a deep breath. And letting it go. And another. Now I want you to imagine your lower self, personify your lower self, and put it on one of your shoulders. And I want you to personify your higher self. And I want you to put it on your other shoulder. And I want you to ask your lower self, what are we abundant in? What does the lower self find that they're abundant in? Still breathing deeply. Once you have your answer, I want you to ask the higher self, what are we abundant in? Please feel free to share in the comments what both of your or either of your selves in this example tell me what they find that you're abundant in. Traditionally, I would imagine if you ask your lower self, they might say that you're abundant in pleasure, and you're abundant in material security, and you're abundant in, opportunities to go to the superstore and toys and games and all these blessed things. And your higher self might have said that you're blessed with friends and the opportunity to help people, the opportunity to learn and grow. These are all fantastic. I have a variety of examples written here, and I find that all people are abundant. That's basically my conclusion. There's so many different ways people can be abundant. Material abundance, abundance of expression, friends abundance, family abundance, love, time, freedom, health, experience, education, spirituality, and I'm sure there's many other ways that we can be abundant as well. So what I really want to start this talk about is how everyone in the whole that I've ever met is abundant in something. And by taking what we are abundant in, we can become abundant in other areas as well. Throughout this talk, I hope to give you that opportunity to subscribe to some of this opportunity for yourself, for the betterment of your life and the betterment of the world. My second bit is competition and notable market trends. So when we talk about competition, it's really important to know your competition. I'm a very cooperative guy, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking across the table and being fully aware of the intentions and mission objectives of others. And so growing up, looking into economics, going into 2017, deciding to open a business, my competition are those with philosophical differences from my own. So the banks, big corporate, government policy that wants to marginalize you into one narrow laneway or one little box. I'm the opposite. I believe that we should be very broad, experienced, and I believe that gives security and wellness to people, both in their daily life and their moving forward and in the community as well. And so I find it's very important to be aware of your competition wherever you are in your life, however you see it. Whatever your competition's doing, you want to be aware. If you have no competition, you're doing great. And I'm very happy for you. And a lot of us don't have any competition, but some of us do. And I don't mean, bad guys, good guys, enemies, whatever. I just mean people with contradicting viewpoints or contradicting competitive distributions. You can have 5 pharmacies in a community all working cooperatively. It doesn't happen as often, but it is important to look at them in both light, competition and cooperation, to be aware of the market and the market share that one can possess. Because my business is so unique, I don't have very much direct competition. My competition, like I said, more of a philosophical competition, but it's very important to be aware of it because it's like playing a game of chess on a much larger scale. When I determined that in 2017 that I didn't need to fight my competition, I didn't need to take them down, I didn't need to do anything like that because of personal things that I became aware of, it was a lot easier to focus on helping people. All right, I don't need to worry about them. Okay, perfect. I got more time to help people. And that's what I really wanted to do, and that's what I did. And so I think that's very important that I was able to identify my competition throughout my life and to react accordingly. So I want you to, because this is all about you, I want you to ask yourself, what competition do you see in your life? And what are you doing as a result of identifying this competition? Think about journaling about these things. Might be helpful for you. Anyway, moving forward, notable market trends. So the world's been changing so very, very fast over the last decade, maybe 2 or 3 decades. Everything's changing, technology, culture, all of it. So it's very important to be aware of where we've been, where we're going, where we are now. If you can see the future, you can be there before other people. That's a huge advantage for you in any school of thought and any amount of abundance. Highly recommend. Take a look at the market. What's going to happen next? What do you need to be prepared for? What can you be prepared for that gives you abundance to provide for others, to help others? It's so important to see the future. And we do that through looking at the past, knowing how things work with the patterns, and living in the moment. What are some market trends you can see that you can use to your advantage? So, as I mentioned, social changes, technology changes, cultural changes. We see this freedom-loving community, we see the spiritual community, we see all these communities that are emerging. If you were to identify their existence before they existed, you could definitely do well. And I have that privilege. I've seen this coming, and I see it continuing to go this way. And so to be here, to be of service to these individuals is such a joy, and I'm very, very thankful for that. For me personally, I find in a more material, lower dimensional perspective, securing food, water, but most important, securing friends. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Most important thing on the planet is people. Our consciousness is so valuable, and it's pretty much everything in a lot of ways. So highly recommend you look where you're investing. I love investing in people. I love helping people because I know that sooner or later I will need help too. And it will be nice to have a little bit of credit with someone who might be able to help me. And there we go. We're building a bigger, better community using cooperation. This cooperation has been paramount to my career, to my life. When I was in 2017, before I started my consulting companies, I was fully aware that there was so much space in the market where people needed help. People needed very specific help for very limited amounts of time, and they didn't fit into standard boxes of how to help. It's really easy for me to say, oh, my toilet's broken, I need a plumber. It's not so easy for me to say everything's broken, I need help with everything. And that's really where I wanted to be. I wanted to be that position where I could sort of flex between a few roles and help people in a variety of ways. As I was telling a client earlier today, honestly, a lot of what I do is emotional support for people. I just come in and I offer a helping hand doing this or that. But really, what I know to be doing is offering my heart and my kindness and my wellness. And I'm just trying to help people on that very root level, on that core level. And so I started doing this for free in 2017, fully aware that if I just did it based on the idea that, hey, pay me based on how much value I provided for you, I took no risk other than my time, and I just had the opportunity to help people and make value, and I was rewarded for that. And I feel like a lot of people have that opportunity, and I think a lot of more people should be doing it and will be doing it. And so if you ever want to duplicate my business, I will help you do it because it is that easy, and pretty much anybody can find a few areas that they can wedge their way into markets to help people. Gardening, cleaning, helping people, like everyone needs help. The market potential is unlimited. There's just no concerns about competition, and there's no startup costs. So definitely something for you to think about. As the old saying goes, it's better to teach a man to fish than to give him a fish. Obviously, no doubt about it. We grow equity in the form of individual experience and education. It's super essential. And I think a lot more people should look at the world that way, by empowering people, by putting value in, just based on the risk of a little bit of time. It's worth it. Yeah, I've been bitten a few times by people that couldn't provide that much, for all my time, and it is what it is. We'd be thankful for the opportunity to learn, because that's what it comes down to. It's an opportunity to learn. Someone rips me off a few $100s. All right, I learned. I learned a lot. I learned a few $100s. Not sure if the lesson was worth that or I'd do it again, but here it is. That's how it is. When money is tight, expand your market. For instance, finding an opportunity and filling it with different components really can help round out your market share. So, for example, when I started as a consultant, philosopher, I wasn't doing a lot of sales. I was doing a lot more equity, personal development, needed more revenue to, further help me with spending time with my studies. And so what did I do? I expanded my market share by joining a new, market, a new service that was moving. Now I have a full career as a mover in addition to a career as a consultant. So really, it's all too easy if we have flexibility, good intent, and a willingness to learn. If you're willing to learn, you can grow yourself limitlessly. You could be endlessly abundant in experience and skills and knowledge, and those can definitely pay you, let me tell you. Can you think of an occasion where you decide to work cooperatively with someone instead of competitively? I've helped out a variety of businesses in this way. I was once helping a holistic practitioner, and just speaking in broad terms, another holistic practitioner was moving in next door, like business wise, and my client was very concerned, upset, stressed, anxious, and I said, "Whoa, we can say this person's a competitive person and they're going to crush you, or we can look at it cooperatively, and instead of it being a bad thing that someone's moving next door in a similar field, it could be a good thing. We can work together with these people." And that's exactly how it went. It all didn't turn out perfectly, but there's a variety of reasons for that. But definitely working cooperatively. Still, even as it all turned out in hindsight, I'd still say that was the best call. And I would always say that. It's the same thing with the moving. We work with other moving companies. It's the same with any kind of consulting I've ever done. I always work as cooperatively as I can. I always subcontract as I can. I always refer people as I can. It's just a better way to build communities, friendships, network, and all that beautiful things. So next, I talk about the benefits of being an owner. Okay, so for one, businesses don't pay as much tax as you and me as individuals. So that's a great reason to be an owner. You'll also pay less personal tax if you're a business owner. So there's two real practicals off the top. You get more quality control, you get better time flexibility, you get more personal security. Being an owner is the way to live, honestly. It is like taking more responsibility, and yeah, it might be hard, but it is definitely worth it. I wouldn't regret it even for a second. Been a business owner for 5 years now. One of the best decisions I've ever made. Yeah, it's not always easy. Yeah, sometimes you take your work home with you. I'm recording this video at 5 p.m. on Good Friday, so yeah, I work 7 days a week. That's okay. Maybe I'll be ahead in a few years. Maybe I'll retire early. We'll see. But I definitely love what I do. I love the flexibility. I love the opportunity. You learn so much, you grow so much. And think about, like, even God forbid, all my world crashes down. I still have so much experience on my resume that I could walk in anywhere and get a job because of all the things I did for myself. They'd be like, "Where's your reference as a business owner?" I could point to reviews and the websites and whatever, and past clients and whatever. But even if I showed up on another planet, I'm sure that they have similar problems, and I'm sure that I could bring similar solutions. And the proof is in the pudding. That's where I've always been with my business, and that's where I think everyone should be. Show me the value. Here's the money. Not, wishy-washy. There's so much wishy-washy in the corporate world. And I think the risk is just ridiculous. So no risk. Let's get it completely secure. Let's move forward. I want to ask, what benefits have you found from being an owner? I know a lot of people that do a little side hustle here, a little side hustle there. Why is it only a little side hustle? Why don't you have 2 or 3 little side hustles? Why haven't we taken it to the next level for you? These are fantastic questions you can ask yourself, and I guarantee they'll help you with greater abundance. Now we're getting to some real stuff here. Are you ready for this? Leverage. So many people I talk to don't seem to understand leverage. I use leverage all day, every day. It is the only way to really get your money to make money for you and to really move yourself into the future of your wellness. Let me give you the definition here as a noun. The exertion of force by means of a lever or an object used in the manner of a lever. As a verb, it's a little different. You use borrowed capital for investment, expecting the profits made to be greater than interest payable. So if I take out a $100,000 loan and I invest it at more interest profit-wise than I'm paying for it, I used leverage to make money I didn't have, make me money I also didn't have. But you take that home for you now. Yeah, there's risk sometimes with leveraging, but I'll tell you, I've never fallen as a mover, and I use leverage all the time. That's the only way you can be 130 pounds and work as a mover day in and day out, is using leverage. You use the leverage of your body, understanding physics, and the same thing goes with business. Let's bring it a step further in case you're not picking up what I'm throwing down. If I have 10 clients that pay me $20 an hour, and I have more clients coming in, those new clients coming in, they have to pay more. If my demand continues to increase, my supply is limited. Supply and demand. So because my time is limited, my supply is limited, if that demand keeps going up, I'm not going to decrease the supply. I'm just going to up the price. So by leveraging past work for future work, you can always guarantee you're going to get paid more moving forward. It's really helpful because as a mover, you can easily, as an owner, I'll let's just say as a lead mover, 30 an hour for a lead mover. That's like bare bones. So I can use that leverage and go and say, hey, I can't really work for 20 an hour because I'm needed all day at 30 an hour. See what happens there? Use the leverage of having the 30 an hour to get more 30 an hour. If I wanted to get to 100 an hour, I'd just leverage getting paid, 80, 90 an hour. I hope you're following me. Please ask questions as needed. This would be a lot better in person, and it will be May 9th. Definitely a date that you'll want to be there. I will definitely improve the stock, and it will be organic based on the audience, for sure. I'll also memorize it more. As you can see, I'm just reading it every here and there. I hope you're enjoying the breathing. So, what is the law of supply and demand? For those that don't know, the law of supply and demand is the theory that explains the interaction between the sellers of resources and the buyers for that resource. The theory defines the relationship between the price of given good or product and willingness for people to enter, buy it, or sell it. A lot of people don't know this. Decreasing the price does not increase demand. Demand is what it is. You can do marketing to find more people and tell them, hey, which will increase your personal demand, not the market demand, but it'll increase your personal demand. But your supply in the scenario of your time is fixed. So anytime you can increase your personal demand is a good time, and I highly recommend it. And that's leveraging. Whatever's not filling in the table, kick it to the curb, get rid of the worst chain, the weakest link, for the strongest. That's leveraging for you. It's fantastic. Cryptocurrencies and the fall of fiat currency. So cryptocurrencies have really stepped up their value since COVID started. This is due for a variety of reasons. The main ones are that some people are rich as can be, and there's a lot of corruption and hyperinflation going on, and the fiat currencies are here to let us down. Fiat money, if people didn't know, is a government-issued currency that is not backed by a physical commodity such as gold or silver, but rather by governments that issued it. So basically, it's make-believe based on the word of some public official or bank or private official or whatever. Oh, yes, here's $5 and it is worth $5. It's just a piece of paper. So, in modern times, we very much honor that piece of paper as being worth something. But if somehow the whole world was convinced that it wasn't worth anything, it wouldn't be worth anything. And we are seeing that through the fall of fiat currency, the hyperinflation, and other economic factors around the world. For instance, did you know Russia is, pretty good on the world stage as far as military power and public awareness and threat level and whatever? They just made their currency gold backed. What that means is your paper is actually redeemable for a quantity of gold. And what that means is the US dollar is in trouble. Known as the petrodollar, it is really in trouble. It's called the petrodollar because basically big oil said that we're only going to sell for American currency. Well, not going to happen going much further. There's going to be massive market changes as a result of the economic war going on. A lot of people don't see it. It's really hard to explain. But the long and the short of it is Bitcoin in 2010 was worth 1/10 a penny. Now it's worth over 50,000 American on a good day. And that is purely based on recognizing the value of it from yesterday to today. By people investing in it, putting money into it, it shows up in the blockchain, and therefore it moves forward as such, as a demand intangible asset. Cryptocurrencies aren't going anywhere tomorrow. Once the fiat currency is gone, maybe crypto will go afterwards in a similar fashion, but that's only based on the reliability of other economic world powers. So let's see where it goes. I don't have all the answers, but we can definitely talk about it at your leisure. How to secure abundance for today and tomorrow. Looking back to what form of abundance we want to focus on, It's a wonderful step for securing abundance. We can use our third eye to envision that abundance, make the plan, move forward with the plan. When you're not really sure what to invest in yourself. Invest in learning, growing, experiencing. Because at the end of the day, you're the only thing you're carrying with you from moment to moment is your experience, your knowledge, your awareness. Money will come and go. Your physical assets will come and go. But hopefully, what you invest in yourself will remain. Me, for example, I have a diploma in accounting. It's paid for itself, and I'm not an official public accountant. I don't have a charter or anything like that. I found that industry to be too corrupt, too boring, but cost accounting was wonderful, and you can use cost accounting all across the board. Managing your own finances is very important. Managing other people's businesses, very important. I highly recommend putting equity into yourself, whatever it may be. Learn an instrument, learn another language. These things pay you back. Some people can say musicians don't make any money. You could play guitar for 10,000 hours and still not make any money as a guitarist. No, but you're getting abundance in other ways, so don't worry about it. There's way more abundance than just money. Abundance can be energy, and as the Lord knows that you can manage a lot of energy, it will give you more energy. It's a beautiful thing. What are some forms of abundance you can better use to assure more abundance moving forward? So, as we were talking about leverage, we can leverage abundance for other abundance. It's also very important to focus, be aware of what you want and what you have. We can improve that weakest link. We can leverage that strongest link. Both those things are key if you want more abundance. Discipline and maintaining. Now, it's nice to have a lot of great ideas, but don't become a salesman. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. If anything, do the opposite. It'll prove really well for you in your personal journey. For example, if I say I'm going to do 10 push-ups, I'll do 12. Why? Because I'm going above and beyond my expectation. And if you always go above and beyond your expectation, you're going to have a really good time. You're going to have really good results. Some people, they'll always show up 10 minutes early. Those people are getting ahead. More ways than one. So once you have your vision, you need to implement a basic strategy of discipline. A wise man once told me, you don't have to do it all right now, but if you can just do a little bit each day, you'll move towards your goals effectively. And I really like that. I like this idea of working 4 hours here, working 4 hours there. Sometimes I'll be in flow and I'll work 15 hours. Some days I'll be like, there's 3 hours done, I'll call it a day. And that's about knowing your prosperity, knowing your energy, knowing yourself, and optimizing. It's important to optimize. You always got to find your flow, get in, tap in, get in there, because you do have a maximum opportunity. Oh, another great piece of advice. When you're making a list of things to do, even writing things you've already done and crossing that off, great idea. Really helps your mental health. I guarantee it'll help your productivity too. So, in conclusion, pick 2 items you're abundant in and 2 items you wish to be abundant in. How will you get these new forms of abundance? Can you use market trends or leveraging to help you reach your goal? I really want you to pause, think about what I just said, and get there. Develop yourself, plan for the future, focus on what you want to create, stop investing in waste, and don't let anyone tell you no. I really appreciate you listening. That's all I had to say. As a gift to you for all this wonderful listening, I want to give everyone who can quote me on this 30 minutes free from me to you to talk about abundance. I honestly could charge you $50 for that. That might be hard to say for you, but I can. And so my phone's about to die. Perfect timing. Call me. Text me. take 30 minutes from me for free. We will create greater abundance. And if you want to pay me something based on donation, please do. But anyway, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.